Keep watching until the end. This story is not just fiction. My phone has been receiving messages from the future, warnings written in my own voice. I thought it was a prank until the predictions started coming true one by one. Now the messages say something is coming for me tonight. And if you're hearing this, you might already be involved too.
The first message arrived at 3:12 a.m. It was a simple text: "Don't answer the knock." I laughed it off, thinking someone spoofed my number. But 10 minutes later, someone actually knocked, slow, deliberate, like they knew I was awake. I froze, staring at the door. Another buzz. "You're being watched. Stay still."
I peeked through the peephole, but the hallway was empty. Still, the air felt wrong, heavy, charged. My phone vibrated again. Check the camera feed. I opened the app and my blood ran cold. The screen showed a tall, pale silhouette standing at my door, motionless. But in real life, there was nothing there. Or maybe it just couldn't be seen by human eyes. The future me insisted, "Don't blink when it moves." I didn't understand what that meant until the silhouette twitched on the feed. One frame, it was by the elevator, the next it was inches from the camera. I blinked and the feed glitched hard. When the image stabilized, the figure was gone, yet something scraped softly along my wall. At dawn, another message arrived. "Skip work. Your bus will crash." I felt ridiculous, but fear won. I stayed home. An hour later, news broke. My bus route collided with a truck. Same time, same stop. That's when I stopped doubting. Whoever or whatever was messaging me knew too much, and I wasn't sure. I wanted the truth.
The texts became more urgent. "Your shadow isn't yours today." I checked the floor. The morning sun cast my outline across the room, but the head didn't turn when I did. It lingered a second longer, like it was catching up. I stepped back, trembling, and the shadow jolted forward, stretching toward me as if reaching. I fled to the bathroom, where the light was weaker. My phone buzzed. Good. It can't follow you into small mirrors. I didn't dare look in the large one above the sink, but curiosity won. My reflection stared back, except the eyes were slightly wrong. Darker, like something else was wearing my face from behind the glass. I covered the mirror with a towel. Another ping. "Don't cover it. You need to watch it." I hesitated, then pulled the towel off. My reflection smiled, but I didn't. I stumbled back, hitting the wall. The mirror me mouthed something. "He's coming." Then the lights flickered and steam curled from the dry air like invisible breath. I escaped to my living room, shaking. My phone displayed a new message before I even unlocked it. "Stop running. It follows movement." I froze mid-step. The room felt charged again, as if the air around me thickened. A soft thump echoed from under the couch, something shifting, dragging itself closer. The couch lifted slightly, just an inch, as though something pushed upward. Another text: "Don't look under it. Count to 10." I shut my eyes tightly and began counting. At 6, a cold fingertip brushed my ankle. At 8, something exhaled. At 10, silence. When I opened my eyes, the room was still. Too still. The next warning chilled me. "You have 24 hours before the breach." I asked what that meant, but no reply came. Instead, the apartment lights dimmed on their own. The shadows on the wall stretched unnaturally, merging into one long shape. When I blinked,
The silhouette from before was standing near my kitchen table.
I tried calling a friend, but the call dropped instantly. My phone lit up again. It interferes with signals. Don't let it touch your skin. My breath hitched as the figure glided closer, its movements silent, fluid. It reached out a hand, impossibly thin fingers, extending toward my arm like smoke solidifying.
I backed into the bedroom and slammed the door. The knob twisted immediately, slow, testing. My phone buzzed. Use salt. I dumped what little I had in a shaky circle around me. The knob rattled harder. Then, stillness, followed by a thick, guttural whisper. You're delaying the inevitable. The whisper seeped through the door like a living thing, crawling into my ears. My phone lit up again. Cover your ears. It mimics voices you trust. I pressed my hands tight. The voice changed. Now it sounded like my mother, pleading, begging me to open the door. I knew it wasn't her. That made it worse.
Stepping inside, I noticed carvings etched into the concrete. Spirals, eyes, twisted symbols. My phone displayed a new message, not from the future me this time, but from an unknown number. We see you. The symbols on the wall faintly glowed, pulsing like a heartbeat.
The elevator was dead, so I took the stairs. Each floor I passed felt colder. On the fourth, I heard footsteps behind me. Too many, too fast. My phone buzzed mid-sprint. Don't turn around. I wanted to. I needed to. But something in the air said if I saw what followed me, I wouldn't keep running.
Outside, the street was empty, unnaturally quiet. My phone chimed. Get to the abandoned underpass. I didn't understand why, but something nudged me forward. As I approached the underpass, a low hum vibrated the ground. The air shimmered like heat waves, even though the night was freezing.
Stepping inside, I noticed carvings etched into the concrete, spirals, eyes, twisted symbols. My phone displayed a new message, not from the future me this time, but from an unknown number. We see you. The symbols on the wall faintly glowed, pulsing like a heartbeat. A shadow detached itself from the far wall. Not the tall figure, something shorter, quicker. It scuttled across the ceiling, limbs folding and unfolding the wrong way. My phone buzzed violently. Stay in the center. Circles protect you. I leapt into a chalk-like ring drawn on the ground. The creature circled the ring, hissing. My phone displayed an image, grainy, distorted, showing me lying on the ground, eyes black, mouth open too wide. Text followed. This is what happens if you leave the circle. The creature lunged at me, but stopped inches from the edge, screeching angrily.
Suddenly, the tall silhouette appeared behind the smaller creature. It grasped it, twisted, and the thing dissolved into smoke. My phone vibrated again. It's not saving you, it's claiming you. The silhouette turned to face me. The ring began to crack, lines breaking as though under pressure. I ran before the circle fully collapsed. The underpass warped behind me, the walls bent inward like a mouth closing. My phone buzzed mid-sprint. Don't breathe deeply. It tracks breath. I forced myself into shallow gasps. Something large scraped along the asphalt behind me. I ducked into an alley. A streetlight overhead flickered, then exploded. Glass rained down, and the silhouette drifted into view, gliding unnaturally. I pressed myself against the wall. A new text appeared. This is where the timelines split. Choose left. The alley forked. I ran left. The left path led to a dead industrial yard. Rusted metal, abandoned crates, echoing emptiness. My phone buzzed. You must find the gate. Before I could ask what gate, the silhouette emerged from a broken doorway. But now it was duplicated. 2 of them, then 3, all turning toward me.
I hid behind a crate, heart hammering. My phone, they can smell fear, slow your pulse. How was I supposed to do that? I closed my eyes, focusing on anything else, but the ground trembled with their approaching steps. A cold hand brushed the crate's edge. A sudden metallic groan echoed across the yard. One of the silhouettes snapped its head toward the sound, then another. Then all of them drifted away, drawn to something unseen. My phone vibrated. Run toward the noise. Against all logic, I obeyed.
The noise came from a large steel door half buried in rubble. It pulsed with a dull red glow. My phone. This is the gate. Enter before it stabilizes. I tugged on the handle. It opened with a scream of rust. Beyond it lay darkness, deep, shifting, alive.
Inside, everything sounded muffled, like being underwater. The air shimmered, distorting my vision. Shapes flickered in the dark, versions of me, some injured, some staring blankly. My phone glowed. Don't acknowledge them. One of my doubles whispered, "He lies."
A corridor stretched endlessly ahead. I walked, guided only by the phone's dim light. Another message. You're almost aligned with the correct timeline. Almost? The ground shifted like it was breathing. One of the alternate me's followed at a distance, silent except for its dragging footsteps. The corridor opened into a vast chamber containing what looked like a pulsating sphere of light. My phone buzzed. Touch it. I hesitated. The alternate me hissed, "Touch it and you die." The phone buzzed again. Same message. Urgent. Something was lying to me. But which one?
I reached toward the sphere. The alternate double lunged, grabbing my shoulder with ice-cold fingers. My phone flashed violently. "It's not real. Step through." The sphere rippled like liquid. I tore away from the double and plunged my hand through the surface. Reality bent around me.
Light engulfed everything. When vision returned, I stood in my apartment, but wrong, slightly tilted, like a copied version. My phone showed a final message: "You must destroy the other you." I turned slowly. Another version of me stood in the corner, smiling a too wide smile. The other me moved first, sprinting unnaturally fast. I dodged, grabbing a lamp and swinging. It barely flinched. My phone buzzed. "Its bones aren't like yours. Aim for the throat." I struck again, harder. The thing gurgled, twisted, and its body folded inward, collapsing like empty clothing. I backed away from the remains, shaking. My phone lit up again, this time with a voice note. Hesitantly, I played it. It was me, sounding exhausted, terrified. "If you're hearing this, you survived, but the breach isn't closed yet." Something else slipped through.
A cold wind swept through the apartment. Shadows bent toward the hallway. A low humming vibrated the walls. My phone. It arrives at midnight. I checked the clock. 11:59. The humming grew louder, like something massive approaching through unseen cracks.
The lights went out. The phone illuminated a single message. "This is the last warning I can send. Whatever comes next, don't face it alone." The hallway filled with a towering silhouette, far bigger than the others. Its presence crushed the air, and then slowly it leaned toward me. If you want to know what happens after that silhouette reached me, stay with this channel. There's more to uncover, and the messages haven't stopped. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment about what you think that final creature was. Your thoughts might help me survive the next warning.